Good evening, friends. Now, today's topic is a case law, Maneka Gandhi versus Union of India, that is of 1978. Friends, this case is a landmark judgment in Indian constitutional law that significantly expanded the scope of Article 21 of the Constitution and emphasized that importance of personal liberty and procedural fairness. Background the case is Maneka Gandhi, a journalist and social activist, was issued passport under the Passport Act 1967 on June 1st, 1976. On July 2nd, 1977, Government of India confiscated her passport in the public interest without providing her a reason or allowing her a chance to be heard. She challenged the government's action in the Honorable Supreme Court under Article 32, arguing that it violated her fundamental rights. So, friends, the issues raised in this petition are whether the confiscation of her passport without providing her an opportunity to be heard violated her fundamental rights under Article 14, that is right to equality, under Article 19, that is right to freedom of speech and expression, right to move freely, and right to travel abroad. And third one was violation of Article 21, which talks about protection of life and personal liberty. So, in her argument, Maneka Gandhi said the government's action was arbitrary and violated her fundamental rights. The procedure under the Passport Act was not fair, just, or reasonable, and thus violated Article 21. She also argued that the denial of right to be heard breed her natural justice principles. Whereas Union of India, in his argument, said that the action was taken in the public interest, which was sufficient justification under the Passport Act. The right to travel abroad is not explicitly granted as a fundamental right. So the Honorable Supreme Court gave its judgment. The judgment was delivered by a seven-judge bench on January 25th, 1978. The court ruled in favor of Maneka Gandhi, and its key rulings are Article 21, expansion of life and personal liberty. The court held that life and personal liberty under Article 21 cannot be interpreted narrowly. Any law affecting life or liberty must be just, fair, and reasonable, not arbitrary or oppressive. This broadened the scope of Article 21, making it a cornerstone for the protection of fundamental rights. The court introduced the concept of procedural due process in Indian law. It stated that any procedure that curtails life or liberty must comply with the principles of natural justice, that is, right to fair hearing. It further interrelated fundamental rights. The court ruled that Article 14, 19, and 21 are interlinked. A law must pass the test of all three articles to be valid. Article 14, equality before law. The law must not be arbitrary. Article 19, freedoms. The law must not unnecessarily restrict freedom. Article 21, life and liberty. The law must be just, fair, and reasonable. A right to travel abroad. While the court did not explicitly recognize the right to travel abroad as a fundamental right, it held that restrictions on this right must meet the test of Article 14, 19, and 21. So, friends, the significance of the judgment is It gave wider interpretation of fundamental rights. The judgment transformed Article 21 into a source of several rights, such as right to privacy, right to livelihood, and right to clean environment, among others. End of arbitrary action. The court emphasized that state actions must conform to the principles of fairness and natural justice, limiting arbitrary power. Foundation for future judgments. The principles laid down in this course were later used in several landmark judgments, such as A.K. Gopalan versus State of Madras, Khark Singh versus State of Uttar Pradesh, and Puttaswamy versus Union of India, that is, right to privacy. Introduction of procedural due process. By ensuring procedural fairness, the judgment aligned Indian law into more closely with international human rights standards. So, friends, the nutshell conclusion is the Maneka Gandhi versus Union of India case was a monumental decision that broadened the scope of personal liberty under Article 21 and reinforced the interdependence of fundamental rights. It ensured that state actions affecting citizens' life or liberty must adhere to principles of fairness, equality, and reasonableness, making it a cornerstone of constitutional jurisprudence in India. That's all. God bless you all. See you again.